Hello, this is Tom Britt. West Tennessee PBS is working hard to bring you more local shows and quality PBS programs. And they need your financial help because they don't run commercials, they rely on your support. It's easy to donate. Go to their website, westtnpbs.org, and click on the Donate tab. Your donations to Channel 11 stay local and help WLJT-TV continue their mission to be as local as possible.
Today we've got Ryan Blake and Lindsay Dawkins giving our presentation. Ryan serves as the tournament director at the West Tennessee Healthcare Sportsplex. He is a graduate of the University of Tennessee at Martin. What year was that? You didn't put the year on here. 2011, where he earned a degree in sports management and education. Ryan is actively involved in several local initiatives, including serving as a co-leader for the State Games of Tennessee, the chair of Leadership University, a Red Coat ambassador for the Greater Jackson Chamber, and a board member of the Dream Center. And he's also, speaking of the Dream Center, he is the mastermind behind the Dream Center softball game every year. Robin knows, yeah, so that's an incredible event. If y'all have not been to that, you should try it out this fall, or maybe you get called on to play in the game. Lindsay Dawkins Moon recently changed names last year, or added a name last year, serves as the Chief Operating Officer for the Greater Jackson Chamber, and she joined the organization in 2022. She's a graduate of Union University with a degree in Public Relations and Advertising. She is also a 2013 Leadership Jackson alumna. Lindsay enjoys working out, traveling, and watching Braves baseball. Did you have to put Braves in there? You could have just said baseball. She's also expecting her first child on April the 3rd, which is coming up very soon. A daughter on April the 3rd. I don't know if you heard Darielle's announcement earlier, but we have a race for the rest of us that weekend. So if your daughter is not here yet, feel free to join us for that race. But Lindsay and Ryan are going to present to you the State Games of Tennessee today as we gear up for our second annual State Games of Tennessee.
Brian is actually a gold medalist in the state games. So we brought him another gold medal so he could wear it around you guys. So I always like to ask the question, who watched the Olympics, the Winter Olympics? Nice. Who wanted to actually compete in the Olympics? That's it? Nobody else wanted to? Bobsled? Curling? Downhill skiing? I might not want to do that one. After Lindsey Vaughn getting hurt too many times, I don't think I want to do that one. But curling, bobsledding, I would like to do those. I see, you know, a couple of them. I see a few participants outside of Brian last year.
Raise your hand if you actually participated in the State Games of Tennessee. I know we have a
think
few.
I see
There we go.
a couple people.
Kyle, Jeff.
I see a few volunteers too out there. Yep.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that. So I always like to start out, tell a little bit, what are the state games? So I also like to say, we didn't make this up. I wish I had the great idea of making this up, but I didn't. And so the idea, it's a multi-sporting event festival modeled after the Olympic Games for your particular state. And so this has been a nationwide network for a long, long time. And so we're actually governed by the National Congress of State Games, which is affiliated with the U.S. Olympic Committee. So once again, we didn't make it up. We're part of a group, and it actually started in 1978 in New York. And so Tennessee actually had never had one for many, many years. They attempted way back in the day in East Tennessee, and they were never able to get it off the ground. And so last year was our inaugural year for State Games of Tennessee, and Jackson is the host city. So always, what does that mean? We have the right in the whole state to host the game. No one else in the state can take it from us, that all the people get to come to Jackson to play games and stay in our hotels, go to our small businesses, our restaurants, and support and put the economic impact right here in Jackson. If we want to allow other games held in different parts of the state, they actually have to get our permission to be able to do that. And so I hope that you guys see the potential of what this could be in the next 5-10 years as this continues to grow, and that Jackson will be more on the map than it already is, and bringing lots of athletic games here. And one thing that we always like to talk about, the Sportsplex. Who's been to the Sportsplex before? Who's played at the Sportsplex before? Who's had a grandchild play at the Sportsplex? Are there kids?
Yes, we do have some exciting news. Also, I'd like to thank Mayor Conger, but we are installing turf on all 17 of our fields. That'll be happening starting April 6th. And
That-
also
that-
thank, Mr.
That
Frank
does
Levine.
deserve a round of
Yes,
applause.
thank you so much. Obviously, we know with the weather and the rain, it can dampen some things, so that turf will be playing. As long as there's no, thunder and lightning, we'll be happy to have all these teams come and play with us.
So this shows you all the states that have state games. And so we were actually an official member this year. So we got to be put on the map. We were called a developing state for a couple of years, but now we are official full member state. And so that's pretty exciting. And there's a couple other states that you see surrounding that aren't. So technically, Arkansas, they can participate in our games because they don't currently have any. They're actually working on it. And so we actually had some Arkansas folks, some Arkansas baseball teams and some pickleballers come and play with us this past year. But once again, just to show you that this happens all around the country, and every state looks a little bit different in the sports that they offer. Believe it or not, Texas has a winter games. I know, I wouldn't believe that, but they actually do. And so New York, they also just have winter games. They have more skiing, bobsled, figure skating, that kind of stuff. But we're excited to be a full member state. It adds to the validity of the state games and what we're doing here in Jackson. Okay, so I always like to break it down. What does it actually consist of? So in true Olympic spirit, an open ceremony, a male and female athlete of the year. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We have competing individuals and teams, and then there's actually State Games of America. And so you can actually go and compete even farther. But a little recap of last year. Here's our open ceremony.
Welcome to the inaugural State Games of Tennessee.
So we had a fun time. Who went to open ceremony? Yeah. Dr. Marlon King, thank you for letting us use Liberty. It was a last-minute decision of rain and storms were coming our way, and we were using an outdoor venue, and we were able to shift very quickly into Liberty High School, and so it worked out great. And so, as you can see, we had a fun time. We had a parade of athletes, so we had about 500 folks come, and our teams, our youth, they loved to see their face on the Jumbotron and walk around, wave to their parents and their friends. And then we had an Olympian. he was Alex with a track and field, come and speak to our athletes, which is great. We're going to try to get him back because he can do a, what is it? A flaming hammer throw.
Yes,
that's it.
that's right.
So we might try to get him back, and he said he would do a little demonstration for us. So as long as the fire department, we'll have them ready to go. We also had William Steel. So if you ever go by and see William Steel folks, they build us a cauldron, and it looks pretty incredible. That I would put it up some against a lot of the other states. Ours looks really good. And so fun, and Mayor Conger, you know, I always have to pick on you, but his hair did not catch on fire. It didn't, and so we made sure to kind of tame it down because he was one of our torchbearers, and we didn't want that to happen. So we were able to do that. See, they made it. Both our mayors, they made it just fine. No hair problems, no fire. The fire department didn't have to use the fire extinguishers, but it was a really, really fun time with the kids. They loved it. We've had so many great comments of just, it's their opportunity to be part of the Olympics. And so we're gonna do it again this year, and we're looking, Dr. Marlon King again, thank you we're gonna use Pope School. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but so open ceremony was a really fun time, We enjoyed it a lot. So some other things, these are just some photos from last year we had disc golf. And Ryan, maybe you can remember some of the sports. You would think I would remember.
This was a disc golf that was played at the Bend at our city course. We were at USJ for track and field. This is cornhole that we had at our fairgrounds.
And I also like to point out the top person. He was in his 70s, and then you see a kid who's like 5 or 6. And those kids loved how the Olympians, you know, bite their medal. We saw lots of that, but that was I think he was 5 or 6 competing in the games.
So wide variety of age groups, for sure.
These folks all came from Nashville to run in our track and field, and so we were excited to see people come around the state to participate. And Brian, you might have ran against the guy over there, and he was pretty fast. That was his silver medal, not his gold medal. This young, she was 6 years old as well and participating. And that was her first time running in track and field, but she wanted to give it a shot. And another, I think he was closer to his 80s when he was running. He was still faster than I was, though. So, our good pickleball, Jeff, I think that's what you played. And then we had some amazing volunteers and athletic trainers, because it took a lot of folks to be able to help put that on. And so we were grateful for all of them in their bright neon yellow green shirts all around. So lots of fun times. So I talked about State Games of America. So if you won in your age group, in your sport, you actually can go and compete at a higher level. So there's State Games of America, held every 2 years. And 2026 is actually at Penn State University. In 2028, it's in Colorado. And then 2030, it is actually in Utah. And so they have a bidding process just like the Olympics with the National Congress of State Games. But what is really fun is we have a lot of people from Jackson that are going to participate. These are folks who are signed up. I didn't put their names, so you can't see their full names, but we have people from Jackson, from Nashville area, playing in pickleball, in cornhole, in running. And so I think that's pretty cool. Our first year, and we're having folks that are already going to the State Games of America. And so I'm a little proud of those folks. And the games this year, 2026 games, those folks are also eligible to go and participate because these take place in July and August, and our games are in June. So those winners can also participate. So if you want to participate in a sport, you can also go to Penn State University. So fun. There we go. I'm going to let Ryan talk about the sports that we're going to do for 2026.
Yes, so we've actually updated some new sports that we wanted to add. One of the things that we're going to be using, Dr. King would like to thank you again as well, but we're actually we're going to have e-games at Melissa STEM Center. So that's one that we've added. Some of the ladies, anybody in here play Mahjong? Okay, we're hosting Mahjong for state games as well. We've also talked, one that's not on here, Ultimate Frisbee. We've been working with the gentleman in the last several days to get Ultimate Frisbee. So these are just some of the sports, anything from city to county, and then our public school system, and then even in some of our private sectors as well. So these are some of the sports that we have coming up. Table tennis is a new one we're adding this year, and that will be at Trinity Christian Academy. So very excited about those.
Yeah, and thank you to our partners, city, county, all the schools, to be able to do that. And then we have tournament directors who run these sports. So people who are coaches, who are skilled in that area. For instance, Ryan is our baseball commissioner, tournament director, since he does that on a daily basis. And how many athletes do you have already signed up?
For state games, we have roughly 60 teams that'll be coming already. For the season at the Sportsplex, a little over 800.
So lots of folks
Through June, yes.
already signed up to come and participate. And so, yeah, we're excited. Some of these sports we did last year. Some of them are new this year. And then some of them, this is the beauty of we have to have so many different approved sports. And then some of them, like Mahjong, we can make up. And because it fits in our area and people ask for it. And so we have a bunch of little ladies that want to come, not just the guys.
Yep.
The guys can come too, but I don't know if I've ever seen a guy play Mahjong before. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yep.
I'll get comments after that. Send me an email. He'll be fine. So 2026 sports. And this is for everybody. The idea of the state games is you're an amateur. Maybe you've played once. Maybe you play regularly on your pickleball. It's also for those who we've added sports that maybe have a disability, that they can also be involved because that's what we want it to be. We want it to be for everybody, from young to old, male, female, to be a part of it. And so that's why we've picked some of the sports that we have, and we'll continue to grow that in different partnerships as well. I want to point out a few highlights from last year. Is we had 1,600 athletes in 10 different sports. Our goal was 1,500. And I also like to point out, we did this strategic because we don't want to overwhelm, our emergency management group, because thank you, Chief Corley. Police were involved, West Tennessee Healthcare with trainers, EMS, and so we didn't want to bring 10,000 athletes the first year and no one have a good experience. So we purposely started small. We capped a lot of our sports, so only so many participants could participate. And we're doing the same thing this year. Our goal is to go up to closer to 2,500 athletes for this year, and hopefully we can see it. I didn't put every single town that people came from, but I wanted you to see we had a variety of folks, not just Jackson and the surrounding area, but Nashville area, Memphis area, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know some of those places existed in Tennessee. I had to look up some of these because I didn't know where they were. We can also run some stats that the city and parks have, and just pickleball, for instance, we know that almost 1,700 visitors came for those couple of days, just in one sport. Baseball and softball, obviously some of our bigger sports, around 7,000 folks came. And so, in cornhole, I always like to point out, we actually had 2 top 5 people in the world come and compete that are in the Tennessee area. Did not know that. I learned a lot about cornhole. And then, I mean, we had close to 10,000 folks from visitors, fans, spectators, officials, players, coaches, all that participate in state games over the course of 2 weekends. Well, 3 weekends, actually.
Yes.
So we think for a first year, pretty good, and it'll continue to grow. So this is not us, but this is where we're aiming for. So state games of Mississippi, and then you'll see the Show Me State games. These are established games, so please don't think that they started this way. You can see Mississippi, they bring in close to $17.2 million in economic impact. Show Me States, they have over 20,000 athletes that come for their games. And so this is what we want to be in 5-10 years because we want to make sure that everybody, our infrastructure is ready. We have some great athletic facilities, but some are going to be coming online. Hub City Central is getting finished up. An arena is getting polished up, and so different areas that we're able to use. And so this is what we're striving for in the future years. So how to get involved? A, participate in a sport. Like I said, you know, Daryl, he talked about non-runners. We still have that. You don't have to be an official runner or player. There's still areas that you can participate in. These are our dates. We're actually doing it over the course of a few more weekends. May 30th, that is going to be disc golf and cycling, road cycling. And then the 5th and the 7th, and then the 14th through 12th through the 14th, we are going to have that. Come to open ceremonies. It's open to the community. And we're going to do it Pope School, and it's going to have fun. We're going to have food and games, and then parade of athletes. We're working on a couple more Olympians. Maybe we could get the hammer throw, the fire hammer throw. That'd be pretty cool. Tell others to play or to come and support. And then volunteer. It took us about 100 volunteers or so. So we need lots of folks to help out, be a part of it. And then obviously, we'll always put this, if you want to sponsor, be a part of it. It takes lots of funds to be able to put this on, but we know that it is good for the community and good for Jackson. So, anything else? Any questions? I would like to thank West Tennessee Healthcare. They're our athletic training partner and presenting sponsor. And then City of Jackson, Madison County, they also help us a lot as well.
Visit Jackson.
And our Visit Jackson group. And there's our emails and stategamesoftn.com. You can go and you can register for any of the sports there.
This program you've been watching was made possible through the generous financial support of West Tennessee PBS viewers like you. Please visit westtnpbs.org and make a donation today so that we can continue to make local programs like this possible. Thank you.
It's all about home.